Hello family, I'm Robert and I'm a real alcoholic. I want to welcome everyone to the Atlanta Step Up Society book study, AA book study. The name of my study is Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. Let's open with a moment of silence followed by the Serenity Prayer. Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the other. We do have some more visitors tonight, and this is probably their first time in an AA book study. This is not the fellowship. This is the book study. And what we do is we study paragraph by paragraph, and then we'll break it down. Usually I break it down, and then at the end we do Q&A. And these are nurse students, so it's kind of like, let's welcome them. You don't want to make them feel at home. Yeah, keep coming back. So we are going to end the 11th step and then go into the 12th step. And we've been talking about prayer and meditating. Well, let me just read it because I think it's better to read it. That way you don't carry the message wrong. Sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. You know, since I've been like 21 years clean, and I say that humbly, I've done a lot of studying. If people been around me for a long time know that I read and study spirituality 24/7. I have never not read and not studied in my 21 years. Also, when I go on vacation, let's say I go to Bahamas, and I've been to Korea, I've been all over the world, you know, and right before I get ready to go, I gather up some hardback books, you know, one or two that I'm going to read on vacation. Now, I am digitally inclined. I like to stroll through the stuff, you know what I'm saying? You can tell me. You want to read?
Yes, sir.
I like to read stuff digitally, but I kind of do that secondary. That's just me. I like to feel the book, put my notes in it. That's just the way I am. Highlight so I can go back to them. But when I'm in the gym working out, I'm digital. You know, I don't carry the book in there, get all the sweat on the book and everything. I'm digital. I got my iPad, you know, and I do everything digital. So I do use both worlds, but I'm still a favorite of hardback, paperback, you know. And it broke my heart the other day. I went up to Barnes and Noble, Cab Creek. It was closed. Whoa! I was sad. You know, big as that place is, it made me sad. I like Barnes and Noble, you know. So I wish them well, you know, they do what they need to do. So we're going to talk a little bit more, go into 2-3 paragraphs, maybe 4 paragraphs about meditating and prayer. And then we're going to go right into how it works. I'm excited to get into how it works. I really am. You know, I had a friend today, he asked me, he was going through some questions, you know, about anger and stuff like that. And I can sit up and get all the cliches. I can give all the, you know what I'm trying to say, what you should do. I don't know, I'm not in your brain. But I know a couple things that do work. I told him to get the book, Sober But Stuck. And if you work with other alcoholics and addict, that always save the day. Get some sponsees and work with them, it'll always save the day. That's how you get up out of them problems. When you got a problem, the only way you can have a solution in the problem is don't participate in the problem. Divorce yourself in a problem. Find something else to do. You cannot change a problem by trying to fix the problem. Drop it. Abort it. The book said that we divorce from them. Divorce from it. Separate from it. Find something new, and it will be a habit forming, and it will replace that old habit. Alright? So let's go and let's look at page 87, we're going to start where it says we usually conclude. Let me tell y'all something about the reader, DR. I think it's real honorable for him to. Sometimes he come in right at the one minute. You know, he be running in here because he be at work. He come right in at 1 minute and sit down to assume his position to start reading. Now me, I probably say, well, I'm already late. I'm going to get a seat in the back. Let somebody else do it. But he don't have that kind of heart, that willingness. He's willing to come in. The last person that come up front to read, I got to commend you on that. Because a lot of people want to do that. They just go on fall in the back. All right. Start where we usually conclude.
That was my intention, but y'all got works.
There you go.
We usually conclude the period of meditation with a prayer that we be shown all through the day where our next step is to be, and that we be given whatever we need to take care of such problems. We ask especially for freedom from self-will and are careful to make no request for ourselves only. We may ask for ourselves, however, if others will be helped. We are careful never to pray for our own selfish ends. Many of us have wasted a lot of time doing that, and it doesn't work. You can easily see why.
A lot of this stuff that I do up here is my personal experience. It's just my experience of my story that I'm sharing with the world. It's my story that I'm sharing with the world. All right. It says we usually conclude the period of meditation with a prayer that we be shown all through the day what our next step is to be, that we be given whatever we need to take care of such problems. You gotta bear with me. I got notes everywhere. I don't see commas and periods. You know. So here's the deal. We usually conclude the period of meditating with a prayer. And then we be shown all through the day what our next step is to be. And that God will give us what we need to solve the problem. That makes sense? So, now remember how I pray. I usually pray from the end. Whatever I desire, whatever I want, I don't kind of like ask God to give it to me. I already assume the feeling that I got it. I put myself in the condition that it's already here. Because I read and I was told all my life that all things were finished. And so I have to believe that it's already here. I'm praying from the end. Let's say, let me give you a good example for me. Usually in a small business, and people around the world know what I'm talking about. You got a small business, 9 times out of 10, and you got a lot of people on payroll. Payroll is the biggest chunk of the business. Most people don't go in business is because they don't want the overhead. They don't want the big responsibility of paying 20 people. You know, paying for the trucks and the gas and all this kind of stuff. So what I do, this is me, and I had to learn how to do this. It didn't come overnight. I usually come up with a figure that I'm going to need from Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You know what I'm trying to say? Let's say I need, I'm just going to use this, $10,000. I need $10,000 to pay everybody off and have a few thousand sitting to open up next week. I need $10,000. So what I do, that's my desire. My desire is to have $10,000. So what I do is I have to assume the feeling that I already got it. What I do is I close my eyes at night before I go to bed, and I thank God, I'm grateful that I got it. Everybody's getting paid. And in the darkness, in the stillness, in the secret, in the quietest place of my mind, deep down in my heart, I start paying people. Here you go, Travis. Call Antonio, come up and get here. Jane, get yours. Albert, Eddie, Ken. I start paying people. And I can feel them snatch it. You know what I'm saying? And grin. So I assume the condition that it's done. It's finished. It's done. I'm not begging. It's done. Then I let go and let God. Now, the hard part is when I come to work the next day and I start adding up through the day and it ain't tallying up the right way. You know what I'm trying to say? It's coming a little slow. Do I doubt? No. I used to. I still assume the faith that is there. And I don't doubt myself no more. Alright? Just keep that scenario in your mind. Just hold on to that scenario. So it says that we usually conclude a period of meditation with a prayer that we be shown all through the day what our next step is to be. That we be given whatever we need to take care of such problems. Let's say I'm down, I kind of want, and I'm looking, you know, and my 3 or 4 biggest people to pay off. The guys in the treatment ain't that much, but the other ones, it sounds a little bit thicker. And I don't seem to happen, and it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm getting a little upset. What I do is pause and don't do nothing. Remember I told you my chest tightens up? I breathe, relax, and let it go. Never fail. I get a call from one of the drivers. Wow, we got it lit. Can I bring it in? I bring it in. We price it in the back. I'm thinking, the people say, how much you gonna put on that? I'm thinking 2 payrolls. You know what I'm saying? 2 people payroll, slap it on. Yeah, we don't have a problem selling. Put it out there, bam, it's gone. Pay them off. Pay them off. That's how I do it. So, this is just a suggestion. You don't have to do it like this. But I tried it the other way and it didn't work for me. You know, so, you know, my mom, let me get on something for a second. She would talk about religion. And I believe in religion. But she said, now what, since you've been clean and sober, what kind of religion do you consider yourself? I used to say non-denominational at first. I said, you know what, Mom, this is the truth. All the stuff I have read and everything I know how to do now through the 12-step system and going out, I think I kind of just got my own religion. I feel like I got my own, you know what I'm trying to say? My own spirituality that works. I can't classify it as Christian or Catholic or something, but it's mine. It works for me. It keeps me happy and keeps me at peace. I can go in anybody's church, but I got principles now that work in my life. Spiritual principles. That makes sense? So, if you got problems, the spirituality will take care of your problems if you don't participate in them. Don't do it, let it fix it. You come up out of them. Alright? We ask especially, we pray, when you say ask, we pray especially for freedom from self-will. See, my self-will, when I need the $10,000, I start juggling. Let me call such and such, see if I can borrow it. I know some people I can get it from now. Then my mind says, nah, that'd be embarrassing. And you ain't gonna want to pay them back. That's self-will. That's when it's running. I have to stop. Then you get right back into, it's already done. I'm already paying people. And let it go. And let the system just do what it do. I have never not paid nobody, and we've been in 20 years. Everybody got paid. Not one person ever been missed in 20 years. And careful to make no request for ourselves only. In that scenario I gave you right there, I'm not praying for myself anyway. I'm asking for the money to help others. Alright? It says that we may ask for ourselves, however, if others will be helped. Now, sometimes I jump out, that was just a scenario at work. But I see myself as a multi-millionaire with millions. Now, I know I got to help people. I know I got to help people. Because y'all don't want to see me with no $1 million and be selfish. You know, I don't want to see myself with $1 million and don't give a damn about nobody. Because y'all know I'm going to be dead. I'll be dead. You know, but I can't smoke up that much, so I'll be dead. There's gonna be some 100,000 left over, but I will be dead. So it don't work. It ain't gonna work. I have to help somebody. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, to get it, but you can get it. Anything. It's what they say, and this is true. Any and everything is possible with God. You just have to believe that you have it and it's yours. That's it. Can't have no doubt in the game now. We're playing we have a big boy and big girl grown-up game now. This ain't kiddie land, no. This ain't no kiddie land. This ain't a little park, that little rides I see when I'm going home when they put the thing up for 2 weeks and take it out of there. You know, the little ride and you go to the little fair or carnival or something, they pathetic little rides, you know what I'm saying? That ain't that. You know, it's the real deal. It's Disney World. You know. So, we are careful now to pray for our own self-esteem. Many of us have wasted a lot of time doing that and it doesn't work. You can easily say why. If you want to pray for something big, you can always expand. I just gave you a scenario at the company that I'm real familiar with that work every week. You know what I'm saying? But you can go as big, you can expand as big as you want as long as you help others. I can open up 10 more treatment centers as long as I'm helping people. You know, we have diesel trucks that we park every night around 8 o'clock. They park. Anybody know anything about diesel trucks? They were built to run 24/7. All the time the post office used to tell me, call me and request because at night the shippers, you know, they take the mail up and down. They ain't the little blue and white truck. It's contractors that deliver the mail at night. They want it, but I don't want to stay up all night. I'll do enough as it is. You know what I'm saying? That's added work for me. You know, I ain't trying to buy myself another job. You know, I have a friend bought Checkers, some of the Checkers hamburger places. Yeah. He said, "Well, I didn't know I was buying a job." He bought him a job. Yeah, that's a lot of work. Alright? You can easily see why. Let's do the next paragraph.
If circumstances warrant, we ask our wives, our friends to join us in morning meditation. If you belong to religious domination which requires a definite morning devotion, we attend to that also. If not members of religious bodies, we sometimes select and memorize a few set prayers which emphasize the principles we have been discussing. There are many helpful books also. Suggestions about these may be obtained from one's priest, minister, or rabbi. Be quick to see where religious people are right. Make use of what they offer.
They are saying it's okay to go back to the church. You've done your spiritual kindergarten work. You know, you've done your 12 steps. Now it's okay to go back in the church. I hear a lot of people say this ain't no religious program, this ain't that. And that maybe the program is not. But it do not suggest that you don't return back to your churches. It don't say that. Alright? If circumstances warrant, we ask our wives or friends to join us in morning meditation. You know, a lot of times, me and my wife, the circumstances warrant, we usually don't get up at the wrong time, at the same time. She like to stay in bed a lot longer than me. She has a routine that's different from me. You know, she get kind of mad because I'm up early trying to get in here. But the deal is, she's not. But I noticed that over the years, let's say something's on her mind or something, you know, before we go out, we have a conversation about the day or what's about to take place, and it usually be somewhere in the line of spirituality. You know what I'm trying to say? Well, I need God to help us with this today or do that, you know. So it's usually on the line of spirituality. And then normally, when we get to work, a lot of times we have a spiritual group up here. All of us get together and we talk about something or something. And a lot of you work around treatment or treatment facility, you always have morning spirituality. So we already doing this. You know, I see this a lot. And that's a good thing. People riding the buses and stuff, reading their daily spiritual work. We do this every day. Now here's the deal. A lot of time, let me see if I can word this right. In order to be successful, I don't care if it's finance, spirituality, or whatever. I think that we spend a lot of time on doing things we already know how to do. You know what I'm trying to say? I spend a lot of time on doing things I already know how to do. I already know how to sort clothes in the back. I already know how to read spirituality stuff. So if I'm not expanding and if I'm not growing, it's some things that I don't know how to do that I'm doing a lot too. In other words, if I got bad habits, I can be doing spirituality all day long. You know what I'm trying to say? I can be good morning group and praying and meditating, but that bad habit is keeping me stuck. I already know how to pray. I already know how to read self-help books. If anybody ever studied them quick, rich book, you know, self-help books to become millionaires and financial gurus and stuff like that, you can do that for 10 years and still be broke. You know, because there's something in your psyche or something in your mind that's hindering you that you don't believe you're successful. That's why you're reading all that stuff. You already know what they're going to teach you how to do. We need to focus on what is it that's holding me from doing it. Is it a bad relationship? My sick thinking? You know, me lying on recovery and still using? There's something that's in our subconscious that won't let us grow. That makes sense? There's something that's blocking. Alright? So we need to kind of focus on that. And we divorce from that, we'll shoot off. It'll come off. You divorce from that sickness, you'll grow and expand. Alright? It said, if we belong to a religious denomination which require a definite morning devotion, we attend to that also. If not members of religious bodies, we sometimes select and memorize a few set prayers which emphasize the principles we have been discussing. This stuff is everywhere. Everywhere. So if you're not expanding and you're reading all this stuff, then get a piece of paper and write down the defect that's still blocking you from doing this, from growing. That makes sense? It says that there are many helpful books also. I have read a lot of books and spent a lot of money reading books and bought a lot of tapes. I bought a lot of tapes. I'm talking about thousands of dollars of CDs. Thousands of dollars. And I had no idea that you could click on the internet and download them. And then I hired Wayne, and he said, I was telling him all that. He said, oh, it's on the internet. I was embarrassed, you know. I went and bought me a big stack of CDs by their house, run them off. The same one I'm paying for. Then my mind saying, well, the quality ain't that good. Oh, please. You know, $1,000, all right, I listen to that bad quality. You know? But what it did do, it took away the fear of me now I don't have a fear about talking or putting my material or anything I got on CDs and passing them around the world. I paid enough for them that now I don't have that fear. You know what I mean? Mine can go. I don't care. It says that, and what I do, I like to give away books. If I read a good book, I'll give it away, pass it on. Or sometimes I order. If I read something good, I go on Amazon.com, find me 10 of them and pass them out. I like to do that. I like other people have good information too. Suggestions about these may be, they talking about books, helpful books. Suggestions about these may be obtained from one priest, minister, or rabbi. Be quick, that means fast or quick, to see what religious people are right. Make use of what they offer. You know, if you got religious people around your pastor, people in your church that's religious and stuff like that, listen to them. Try to take their advice. People say, well, we're not religious. We're not asking you to be religious. We're just saying, listen to them. And if you really know the steps, the only step that deals with alcohol is the first step. The rest of them don't. So you got somebody that a female pastor or female in your church, and you a man, and she's a single parent, and she done raised her kids and done put them in college, and you ain't did nothing for your kid, right? And they going to college. Maybe she can tell you how to be a parent. Maybe she can tell you, teach you how to be a better parent. Maybe she can tell you how to communicate with your son and your daughter. She might tell you what scriptures that helped her get through them hard times. Because I hear people all the time talking about, my daughter hang up in my face. She don't want to talk to me. She don't want to communicate with me. Maybe that single parent in the church can teach you some principles that can help you be a better parent. That's what they mean by listening. All right? Everything in life now don't have to come from no rooms. You're supposed to become productive members of society, not addicted to the rooms. Now, I'm not giving you permission to leave the room. I'm just saying there's more to life than that. There's more to life than that. I see people today that I've been known for 18, 19 years, and I'm going to walk up to them. Y'all experience this. Hey, how you doing? I'm truly blessed for the day. Just coming back, keep coming back. You know, I can't even get a conversation in if I start hearing all the slang from the meetings. Like, yo, I just want to, how you doing? I ain't want to, how that blessing favor. I just want to know how you doing. I don't want to get beat up with the fellowship lingo. But that's what I'm saying, though. We can improve. We can expand. It's okay, y'all. But don't stop. Keep coming back. You always got to go to meetings. But you don't have to always. You can go do other stuff. All right? You know you can't take a drink. That's not an option. So enjoy life. Enjoy life. All right, the next paragraph.
As we go through the day, we pause when agitated or doubtful and ask for the right thought or action. We constantly remind ourselves we are no longer running the show. Humbly saying to ourselves many times each day, thy will be done. We are then in much less danger or excitement, fear, anger, worry, self-pity, or foolish decision. We become much more efficient. We do not tire so easily. For we are not burning up energy foolishly as we did when we were trying to arrange life to suit ourselves. It works. It really does.
All right, this is going to be deep. Now listen to this, nurses. This is school, nursing school all day long. I'm going to tell you something. My daughter, remember I told y'all my daughter was a nurse? All right? I know how hard y'all program is. It is tremendously hard. Am I right?
Yes.
It's no joke. What's that, chemistry or something she used to always be crying about. She didn't want to get out of bed to go to class. That's how hard it was. All right? As we go through the day, we pause. I'm talking about a mental pause. You stop mentally. But if you have to stop physically, that's what you need to do too. But stop mentally. As we go through the day, we pause. Mentally or physically, whatever it's going to take. When agitated or doubtful. Most of the time, let's go back to the $10,000 scenario for the weekend. Most of the time, if it's not coming as fast as I think it should be, I'll be agitated. Or I find myself sometimes doubtful. You know what I'm trying to say? That's when I have to stop and pause. Then I ask for the right thought or decision. I'm not asking for God to give me something. I'm just want him to give me the right thought or action. So that means it's in my own mind. The thought that I'm looking for or the action that I need to display is in my own mind. It's in me. So I have to stop. Y'all know what I do. Relax, because my heart, when I'm agitated, my chest get tight. You know, another guy told me he passed gas. Whatever, your body, you have to know your body. Some people, know it, you know, whatever it is, but you'll know it. When that's about to happen, you're probably getting in that fight attitude, the flee. You know, so I usually, my heart and my chest get tight, I have to do that. Go in my office and sit still and let go and let God. Soon after that, see, the energy cannot be blocked. We talked about spiritual energy. Remember we talked about that? How the girlfriend and the boyfriend scenario, and then all of a sudden they get the energy and everything changes. This universal energy has to flow through you. They could be blocked. The molecules will block in you. They'll block in you and don't pass, and that will expand in you. Like a plague, or, you know what I'm talking about? Like a disease. It's like kind of like you have a bottle of water and you take some food coloring and drop a drop in it, and it start to spread, expand. That's kind of like that energy, that block energy do. You want it to flow through you. The universal flow through you and out and bless. So here's the deal. This is in the scriptures. It's nothing new I'm talking about. As we go through the day, we pause and agitate the doubtful and ask for the right thought or action. We constantly remind ourselves we are no longer running the show. When I know that I got this desire out there and I'm holding on to this desire, the $10,000, and if it's not coming, I get a little agitated, I get a little doubtful, I have to stop and pause, allow my energy to flow through me, and I have to remind myself, I'm not in charge, this is only day one. And allow God or the universe to make this thing happen. Humbly saying to ourselves many times each day. I might have to pause 20 times in a day to make sure I don't take over self-will. But that's okay. Because the power that's going to do it is way bigger than me pausing. 100 times bigger than, 1,000,000 times bigger than me trying to fix it. So if I had to stop 20 times in a day, then that's what I do. Alright? Thy will be done. Then you get the blessings. We are then in much less danger of excitement, fear, anger, worry, self-pity, or foolish decisions. As long as we stay behind them things, we're not a part of them. That makes sense? We're not participating in them. We're separated from them in the power of God. You're not actively in that stuff. If you find yourself actively in this stuff, you're not going to be able to fix it by trying to be actively in it. You're going to have to remove yourself from it. You can't fix a problem in a problem. You got to not participate in the problem. Stand back, get behind it, and let the real you, which is the spiritual you, be at ease. That stuff will go away. What it does is excitement, less than excitement, fear, anger, worry, self-pity, and foolish decisions are energy blockages in you. Once I start that, the energy blocks in me and don't move through. So if it's not moving through, it's contaminating who? Me. Then my mind attaches to the anger and it starts thinking angry thoughts. Next thing you know, I'm the drama queen of kings. It just keep adding on. Keep adding on. Then I'm sick. Instead of being behind it. Just take practice now. It ain't not something you learn overnight. You have to practice this stuff. Then you'll find that internal peace, happy joys and peace that we're talking about, free. We become much more efficient. If we can pause through the day when we're agitated and in doubt, learn how to control our thoughts and these emotions, allow them, don't try to run from them. Don't get comfortable with it. If I'm feeling pain, I just pause, relax, and feel it. And let it go. I ain't trying to stuff it. I'm not trying to hide it. I'm just trying to let it go. You know, somebody cuss me out or something like that, I feel agitated. I want to retaliate. I just take the cussing out. Let it go. Let it go. We do not tire so easily, and we are not burning up energy foolishly, as we did when we were trying to arrange life to suit ourselves. This spiritual energy, this energy we're talking about, once we learn how to control it and let it run through us, we're not burning up this energy and using it wastefully or foolishly, they say. That makes sense? It works. It really does. Now here's the deal. When I do this all weekend long, by Saturday afternoon, everything I needed to pay, every person I needed to pay is done. Everybody's satisfied. I got the little extra that I needed to go into the next week. I done bought tires on trucks, you know, paid a few bills, and it worked. This has worked for me for the last 20 years. Even when I wasn't conscious of what I'm doing. Now that I'm conscious of it, it worked better. That makes sense? I was doing something like that with the like the scripture say, with faith of the size of a mustard seed. I just had to find a better way to pay payroll than me jumping out of hoops, being angry and scared and frustrated and worried about who I'm going to be able to pay and who I'm not going to be able to pay, who I need to borrow some money from, how I'm going to get, how I'm going to get this, how I'm going to get that. I'm trying to arrange life to suit myself, and I start becoming sick. Then I start hearing about other businessmen, guys that come up to me. I have a guy coming here all the time. He said, "How you doing in your business?" I said, "I don't know." He said, "Man, I'm going to tell you something." They start talking to me because I was new in the game of business. "Man, I'm going to tell you something. You need to relax and learn how to do this thing, because I done had 4 heart attacks." Guys were telling me I done had a mini stroke. I went to about 10 years ago, I went to one night to open up a bottle of water. I ain't have enough strength to top the top off. My whole arm went numb. I went to the hospital, and they told me I was okay. I said, "Nah, I felt like I was having a heart attack," because I didn't feel like I was having a heart attack. I didn't know. I was too ignorant to know you don't tell no doctors and stuff you gonna have had a heart attack. You know, I just wanted to check me out. But I'm so ignorant, I tell them, feel like I had a heart attack. Boy, they bam! As soon as I said that, they put an aspirin down on me and put me on a cot and called the ambulance. You know, I was in the clinic. The cot said, "Call the ambulance, ship me up to Piedmont Hospital." Man, I didn't want to do all that. You know, CAT scans and tubes and all. I said, you know, because I said heart attack. And arm, you know, numb arm. They put them two together. You know, I just want to go there and get checked out and come back to work. But make a long story short, when all that was over, they said, I heard them say, he might have had a mini stroke. But I was feeling fine then, you know. I said, man, I gotta change some stuff. Because the mother business people were right. You can work yourself to death. That's the truth. And it was more stress than it was work. Alright? So, it says, it works, it really does. Do the next one.
We alcoholics are undisciplined, so we let God discipline us in a simple way we have just outlined. But this is not all. There is action and more action. Faith without works is dead.
We alcoholics are, I'm sorry, go ahead. The next chapter is entirely devoted to step 12. Alright, we alcoholics are undisciplined. We're talking about spiritual undiscipline. Alright, we're undisciplined in a lot of areas. We know we're like a riot around the wild, you know. We know we undisciplined in the streets and all that kind of life. But spiritually, we're undisciplined because we never was taught. I know I wasn't never taught spiritual principles. Not me. In my family upbringing, my father, mother never sit us at the table as little kids and say, come on in, y'all, let's have dinner. Let's talk about who's open-minded today. Everybody sit down. Anybody practice any honesty today? Anybody got any courage? Low self-esteem? None of that. Sit your ass down and eat. And go to bed. That's all I heard. That's all I remember. So you know when I got grown, I was undisciplined. And every time I did go to church, my mind was always quick on how long we gonna last so I can get up out of there. So I was undisciplined. That's the bottom line. So we let God discipline us in the simple way we have just outlined. We just talked about the 12 steps. We in step 11. Each time you do a step, you learn some principles and you put them in action. And they work. They truly work. I wouldn't have never knew about resentments and understood about resentments and fear had I not did that inventory. I wouldn't have knew. Resentment would just been a word to me. I wouldn't have knew I had it against 75 people and 10 resentments on each person. It came almost to 600 or 700 resentments that I walk around all the time with. Pick and choose, you know what I'm saying? Open door number 1, number 2, number 3, don't matter. You're a resentful person. I never knew that till I did the inventory. I never, forget about all that. I never knew what part I played. I got friends to this day. I know people to this day. They will never own up to what part they played. Nothing. Got an excuse for everything on the planet. Family friends and members and stuff like that. What part? I didn't do nothing. Yes, you did. You just can't own up to it. They sound like they're incapable of owning up to what part they play. And I remember when I was like that. But when I did that inventory, that bust that one. Because I realized if I didn't look at what part I played, I wasn't going to stay clean. Took it to another level. That makes sense? Took it to a whole new level for me. But this is not all. There is action and more action. Faith without works is dead. The next chapter is entirely devoted to step 12. Let's do the faith. Every time I told you, every time in the book there's something, I take an opportunity and go back, and because we always talk about faith, we hear faith all the time, right? In the other book, Hebrews says, now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the convictions of things not seen. Let me set a scenario right fast. We got about 15 minutes. Ain't no point even going in step 12. Let this be the end. I heard someone talking about this. There's the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. We talk about that all the time, right? The conscious mind, let's look at a glacier or an iceberg. Remember the Titanic hit an iceberg, right? Not no glacier. A glacier is huge. I stood on the glacier in Alaska. The glacier was so old. And they say Christ, BC 3,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, it was before Christ, and I was standing on that ice. A piece of planet to be before Christ. You know, that's spiritual. You know what I'm trying to say? So, but let's go back to a glacier or iceberg. When you see the top of the iceberg, the stuff, the ice you see on top, that's only like 10% of it. The most of the ice is underwater. 90% of the iceberg is underwater. You only see with your eyeball, or my eyeball, only 10% of it. And that's huge. The rest is underwater. So, and for our training purposes, the iceberg will be your conscious mind, the ice on top, and the ice under is your subconscious mind. Now, if you did a glacier, we're talking about you can see a mile of ice on top and 90 miles of ice under it. You understand what I'm saying? So, for conscious mind will be what I can see in the third dimension. My subconscious mind will be everything that's invisible. Everything that's invisible. Everything that's invisible. From a man's perspective. And you know, you got to like, we're blessed because I think from what I know, human beings are the only thing on the planet that has a God consciousness. We're the only thing talking about God. My dog ain't running around here talking about no God. They're not talking about God. The bears ain't talking about God. Alligators ain't talking about God. Ain't no, you know, it's us. So evidently, God did give us Himself. But we are everybody. I don't care where you are on earth, they're going to talk about God. God is doing this and God is doing that. So human beings has got some God contact, right? And we have the creative ability that God got from imagination. Everything starts from the invisible world. There's nothing that you can think of. No hair, no shoes, no cars, no nothing that the human mind did not imagine before it existed. Before it got on the top of the iceberg, it was created in the invisible part of the iceberg. That makes sense. Before the earth, it was created in darkness, in the invisible part. You start thinking about your house in the darkness before you buy it. Think about your car before you buy it. Everything starts there. So faith is the assurance of things hoped for. Now see, I hope for that $10,000 that week. And I have to have the $10,000. That's my desire. That's my desire. That's hope. Faith is the assurance that is here. That makes sense? It's the assurance that is present. I occupied it. I was paying people in the darkness. When I said I would play them at night, here Travis, here they go, Antonio, here James, here Ken, here this, here that. I was doing that in the invisible world. So it can be manifested on top of the iceberg. It's preaching, ain't it? That's faith. Now they say you got to walk in faith. The book just did it. It said, what did it say about doubt, agitation, and doubt? That's how you walk in faith. When you know and got a desire for something, you got a desire to be a nurse, see yourself in the uniform, see yourself at that place at night, see yourself at the hospital with the patients, and have no agitation and no doubt. Don't worry about them tests. You gonna pass them? It's 7 billion people on the planet. Ain't that many not made who went to nursing school flunked out. You know, when we people go there, 80 to 90% of them pass. So what's the big deal? See yourself, feel it, participate in it. And when you're in doubt or you agitate, pause. Energy flow. Feel that agitation and let it go. That's walking in faith. When I need the $10,000 and I got the desire to have it, I will, every time I get doubtful that it's not going to be here, I pause and let it go. Every time I'm afraid that I'm not going to make it, I pause and let it go. I look out there and don't see enough donation, I pause and let that go. It don't take but one truck, 2 trucks, and you can get anything you want. But allow God to fix it. That's what they're talking about. This ain't me. The book's telling you what to do. That's how you walk in faith. So what happens is you have a desire, I have a desire, and I get up that next day and I start doing my daily activity. You better believe doubt and agitation gonna come in there. You best believe that I'm a human being. In this world, in this city, on Boulevard, it's gonna be some doubt and agitation. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be there. But now I know from the book what to do. That's how you walk in faith. People tell you all about it. You know, they tell you should do it, and nobody told you how to do it. I'm telling you how to do it. The application, how to do it. You have a desire, hold on to it. Now, something about hope. If you go to, the book says, just listen to religious people. Proverbs say, hope deferred, put aside, push back, right? Delayed. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but desire fulfills the tree of life. If you I hope to get this and then you don't get it, you sick. I hope for this right here, you sick. Boy, I hope to win the lottery. My number coming today, I can't wait, I'm hoping to win. It don't come. Damn. You know? It says hope deferred makes the heart sick, but desire fulfills the tree of life. That desire, you have a desire for something, and you lock into it, and you stay focused into it, it will manifest. It will manifest. It has to. The molecules and the universe, the energy turns into cells. Cells turn into molecules, and molecules clunk up together, and then manifestation. That Einstein said that one. That's in everything, right, nurses? Even the human body, right? Even in water, right? That's the process, right? Where is that energy at? In the underwater, right? In the 90%. They're invisible. All I'm doing is teaching you what's right is in your beautiful human imagination. Things you can't see. I have spent too many years looking outside for stuff. I get that and I lose it. I go over to try to get that, lose it. Nothing was sticking. Through my whole life. That's how I end up in here with y'all. So, it said, but this is not all. There is action and more action. Faith without works is dead. If you hope for something and you don't know how to train your mind, train your emotions, get past the agitation, get past that doubt, get past the anger, past this, and just focus on that, and your own mind, my own mind gonna tell me I ain't gonna make it. I don't need y'all help. My own mind gonna tell me it ain't gonna be right. That's why they say pray in secret. Tell y'all you want to. Y'all gonna help me tell me it ain't gonna work. You'll help me. Well, you ain't gonna never get that one. Y'all to help me do that. That's why what I do at home at night before I go to bed and have a desire, I don't tell nobody. But the scriptures say that. You open your mouth, somebody else gonna tell you it don't work. So the whole, what I'm trying to do is this. If you're not where I'm at, that's fine. But the whole 12-step process is very, very spiritual, y'all. It's very spiritual. It's not just about good sharing. You know, it's not about looking good. It's a spiritual program that works. And this is the only program that's universal all over the world. It cuts through religions and JOs, and the 12 steps is everywhere. It's a good organization to be a part of. It's everywhere. You know, most people on the earth don't never do an inventory of themselves, but we do. A confession. Most people don't confess. They don't care about you. They self-centered. We help each other. We love each other. We never abandon each other. If I can see people, I see people that I ain't seen. I saw a guy today that I ain't seen in 10 years. But we still had a connection because we both was in the fellowship. There's something that's unique. It's unique and it's special. All right. So with that, I thank y'all for a good meeting.